And I just have a question for you.
Okay.
One or the other. Will Damian Lillard win a Grammy before he wins a championship?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Think RBA podcast. I'm your boy, Mr. Chico, and I'm with my man, my guy, Mr.
Oh, good.
We are
Mr.
back.
Okay.
We are back. We are more than okay.
Oh, more than okay.
More than
right?
okay. Coming off the heels of a couple back-to-back
Yeah.
interviews with
Yes,
some people that are close to us.
Yes, sir.
Some meaningful conversations, which was great.
Yeah.
And so now we've got some more lined up too. So we're just trying to space them out.
Yeah,
a
just
little
sprinkle
bit.
some, a
was
little
all-
variety.
We didn't have a guest for 9 months, and then we're like boom, 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 boom. Like, all right,
I mean,
no, let's pace ourselves a
it's
little
the
bit.
RBA way, right?
I know we just go all in.
I mean, expect nothing less.
Yeah, so we got some more lined up coming in the near future. Over the next couple of months into the summer.
Yeah.
I guess we got some big rollers too.
We do.
for our community, not for the world to see some people doing some big things out there.
Yeah.
So excited for that. But let's go ahead and jump in today. And there's something I've been wanting to ask you.
Okay.
And we haven't talked about it yet on the pod. We've talked a lot about coaching
Okay.
on the pod.
Okay.
And I'm gearing up for football season again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not coaching basketball with you, because I got kicked off the coaching squad.
Let's not say that.
But that's fine. It's fine.
Oh, no.
I'll still be
always
there.
opportunities.
Yeah. I'll be the camera guy.
Listen, dude, you didn't accept the role or the position that you were being.
I mean,
I know you big shot. You Chico.
I wasn't allowed to officially sign up, so
Stop
I actually registered him today
Okay.
officially,
All right.
and shed a little tear when I couldn't sign myself up as a coach. But that's fine. That's fine. I know my role. I'm gonna shut my mouth, like The
Wow.
Rock used to say.
The Rock.
Know your role is shut your mouth, jabroni. I'm just gonna be there so I don't get fined,
Oh wow.
and so the boys can do
Run
this
it
work.
back,
here.
man.
I mean, I'm just playing around. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be in there.
Yeah, of course.
I may not be on the bench, but I'll be there. I'll be there.
Listen.
I'll be there coaching for sure.
Your voice is always welcomed. Unlike some other parents.
Yes.
Your voice is always welcomed.
But nonetheless, you have kind of forayed into a new area,
I have.
which is helping now, not head coaching, correct, but just assistant coaching.
Yes.
Soccer.
Soccer, correct.
And so I wanted to start the conversation just to kind of see, now that you've been several weeks into the soccer season now, what is different about coaching soccer than coaching any other sport you've coached?
How much time do we have?
90 seconds. 60 minutes.
60. No. I guess a more truncated version of it would be first thing right off the bat. It's outdoors. It's an outdoor sport, right? We don't basketball strictly indoors.
Yeah.
Never in the outdoor
Welcome
elements.
to my life. Welcome to my life.
Exactly. Well, that's why we also said that we're not going to do summer soccer. We're only going to do spring soccer, maybe fall.
Been raining a lot, though.
It has been raining. So we have played in the rain. That's the other thing. Turf, grass, all that.
Yeah.
And the ball gets slippery and makes the goalie's job a little tougher. So the other big change that I realized that we don't have 8 to 9 players anymore. We have 16, 17 players. So we have double the size of the team. So which is, again, part of your world. You probably have a little more. So managing all those kids' personalities is another thing.
Yep.
The field is so much bigger.
So big.
It is a huge field. Well, one thing I learned about soccer? Apparently, there aren't any official metrics like 100 yards, right? 100-yard NFL football field. There's no such thing as soccer. So a professional soccer field could be off by a few yards between width and length. So there's no official, which I never knew. And please correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm misspeaking. But that's what I learned. Apparently, so the kids are practicing on multiple, surface types, as well as, types of lengths of field, however long or wide a field is.
Yeah.
So they're learning how to cover more area. So, and the other thing is that, so we're coaching, again, they put Tage in the first time playing, they put him they're playing him up again. And I'm like, why? It's our first time. You shouldn't be playing him up. But they're playing him up, and he stepped up to the challenge and has become one of the top players, which is a shock to me because I've never seen him play. So he's definitely shown that he can handle it. The other thing that was from a personal standpoint, what I love about soccer, because it has so much with basketball, like footwork and angles and setting your teammates up, probably even more so teamwork than an actual basketball court. No. And because of that, I feel like his an aggressiveness. So it's a very aggressive sport. Mm-hmm. So he's learning. I feel like he's become even better. His conditioning has gotten like crazy because of the length that they run. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen when he goes into basketball. But those are some like the things I've noticed immediately. But what I also have noticed that some things that don't change are coaches of opposite teams and how aggressive or petty or what I've also noticed that kids are maybe, I don't know what the best way to say this is, not as disciplined in soccer as a whole. Like the league we play for, there's not as much structure as basketball had. Mm-hmm. And that could be because teams are bigger, right? A lot more. Soccer is a global sport. So a lot more people are playing soccer than basketball. So I could see maybe leagues need to kind of up their staff and figure that part out. So, and I made right off the bat assessments, right? We have assessments in basketball. You see the player and we have a draft. Right. No such thing. No such thing. We just got straight. Here's your team. No assessments, no draft. And there's 3 11U teams, but we have no idea what the other teams look like. Mm-hmm. So how do you put these teams together without knowing the skill levels of these players? So that was like a big what if you get laying on a bad team? Right. Then what? Although overall the parents have been very supportive, they've been great. Our head coach is pretty good. I like him a lot. I'm not as disciplined as I personally am, or like my kids to be, but.
And it bites your tongue a little bit?
A lot bit. A lot bit. So I do sprinkle it here and there, but it's a different sport. So I kind of also stay in my lane, right? Yeah. Shut your mouth and stay in your, right? Know your role.
Know your role, Jabroni.
It's my first time there. So I'm learning. See, I'm in the absorption phase. Okay. So, and then when we do it again after the basketball season, we'll do it again. Okay. And obviously his siblings will also start at some point. So which that's the other good thing about soccer, that you could start like at the 2-3-year-old level. Yep. So that'd be great. So I'm looking forward to learning. And because of, my son's interest, his interest, it has I put an interest in learning about the sport, not even more so about the players and all that, but I am watching a lot more clips of soccer, how tricks of the dribbling and strategy and how to beat your man 1v1 and all that. Like I'm learning a lot, and I'm learning that it's so similar to basketball, just that you do it with your feet. Mm. And it's actually harder because
you can't use your hand.
Correct.
Instinctively, you want to.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. And then you can't it's hard to do, like you don't have a thumb. Right. So you're using a foot to do the same things you would normally do with your hands. Mm-hmm. Plus you have your feet to move, right? Crossovers and this and that. But now you have to do it all while dribbling, and there's like 3 guys kicking you while pushing them off. So it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. And I look forward to just getting more knowledgeable about it.
Okay. Yeah. The one thing I've learned about this area is soccer is king.
Oh, soccer is king.
Soccer is hands down king in this area. Hands down. It's crazy how, how many travel soccer teams there are, and just soccer definitely reigns supreme. Absolutely. Even over football, everything in this area, the soccer program is just like, even the program that we're tied to for football, that their version, their soccer program is like Adidas Elite sponsored. Like, wow. And it's hard to get in.
I bet.
It's hard to get in. I'd have to, if I signed him up, like he'd have to play somewhere else because that's the first time. But it's funny though, because he's being recruited. I told you, right? Like he's being recruited by his friends, and one of his friends who lives down the street, and his dad coaches a pretty good team, and he's like, I want him. And like his speed, his speed, and athleticism, and
it makes sense.
It's crazy. And like he's just like, no, I'm good. I just want to play for fun. I'm like, you can play for fun. It's still like
right. No, at least give it a shot, right?
No, he'd rather go. He goes and watches them. And he'll play like in the park, whatever, but he doesn't want to play. I'm like, so I'm trying not to like push too hard yet, but like hopefully he will. I need to try one more time for the fall. Well, after the fall, because for next year.
Football, right.
Because just conditioning wise. Not that he needs a whole lot of conditioning, but he can still always work on it.
Absolutely.
But I mean, then he's going to have middle school ball next year too.
Right,
so,
right. Yeah, and the higher you move up, your conditioning has to be better and better each level going up. So
you can't just always show up and
it works to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Until you start, going up levels.
Right. So that's the message you can hammer home. So actually, we were driving home yesterday. Yeah, yesterday from a birthday party, and I have to show you the clips. It was like this one of those places, like a parkour zone place, but it was like there's one here. It's like what's it called, Fava Land or something, or Fava Zone or something like that. There's actually one here,
like those trampoline parks.
It's kind of like a trampoline park, but they have little parkour stuff and basketball hoops and like everything, right?
Yeah, there is one here. I can't remember the name.
I think it's called like Fava Zone or something like that. But anyway, so when I got there to pick him up, there was this like obstacle course thing, and you time yourself. So you hit a button and and I mean, he was smoking everybody. The adults were like, who is this kid? And looking at me like, when he would come up to me after each one and looking like, hey, this is your kid? Like, it doesn't equate.
Right.
You know, you got this little tiny athlete and then me, right? But he was smoking like so everybody was like in the like 12-second range, and he was at 10, and he just started chipping away, got it down from 10 to the 9s, 9s to the 8s. Oh. And I think he settled it like 7, 8, 9, 7 seconds. He got through the whole thing. Like, it's crazy. But I think I have a video of him getting in the low 8s.
Okay.
I have to show it to you. But yeah, it was
nice.
It was nuts. He was smoking them. But on the way home,
playing soccer.
I mean, on the way home, I was like, "You ready to play basketball for Uncle Hak? Like, you sure you ready?" Because I was like, "He's not gonna take it easy on you." Like,
yeah, this year I'm coming with a different approach.
Yeah, I know. We talked about it. He said he's ready.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, because I was like, he's gonna be hard on you.
I mean,
he's gonna be really hard on you, and I'm gonna let him.
All I say is this: that if you're going to go play at that next level, middle school,
you gotta
have those prerequisites. Those boxes should be checked in.
Yeah.
Right. So each level up, whether it's football or anything.
Yeah. Although I'm not sure how competitive his how competitive his 6th grade JV team is, but we'll see.
That's fine.
I've seen some of the little clinics and should be interested.
Well, you know what? Then we'll over prepare him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So okay. That was enough of that. Let's get into the real meat of the conversation.
Let's do it.
So we got some little questions that we're gonna, little scenarios, different things we're gonna just put out there, put it on the table, see what happens, see what our responses are, see how we might be similar in some of our responses and different in our responses. A little something different today. All right. So while we're on the topic of coaching, I'm gonna give you a hypothetical. Would you rather coach collegiately or professionally? I know, especially in today's day and age, it's tough.
It is tough, especially that professional coaching. Like, your window opportunity is a year, 2 at most, and then if you don't produce any results, you're out.
But collegiately, you got NIL.
Correct, you do have NIL. However, not everybody gets an NIL.
No, but if you were trying to build a program, you can't even rely on your core guys to be there year to year, because they could get an NIL, go hit that portal and go somewhere else.
Correct. However, the flip side of that is, and we're just playing devil's advocate on both sides. The other flip side is that at the professional level, those guys make so much more money than you. They ain't trying to listen to you. Like, all right, coach, whatever. Right? I've heard Gil on his own pocket. I wasn't listening to what coach was saying. I just want to go out there and do what I wanted to do. Right? 1-4 flat. 1-4 flat. Like, forget what coach is saying. 1-4 flat.
Dylan's gonna do that at some point this season.
I'm sure he will.
Forget Uncle Hak.
Correct.
1-4 flat.
I'm sure he will. All I'll say is I hope the play works out for you.
He better make that layup.
It better not be a turnover that leads to 2 points on the other side.
Right.
So like that. So that's the flip side of it. So for me, what I would go with initially is learning the collegiate game first before I move to professional. Because if you can manage those kids and some of those kids will go professional. So when you go professional at some point, you're seeing those kids again, right? And if you're a coach that can handle the collegiate level and you're winning, or you're at least a winning program, or at least a program that gets to the Final Four, you have earned respect. So now you have their ear. There are some coaches who come in and you're like, who's this? Where's your track record? then you kind of have to, you know what I mean? Like it's a whole nother dynamic. And I feel like the college kids are a little bit more receptive, or a lot more receptive to hearing you out, because you're kind of building yourself up. And when you get to professional, then you have, all right, this coach knows what he's talking about. And also learning like some of the lingo. I've noticed that, so Mind the Game podcast, there is so much like NBA talk, that vernacular. That,
or NFL. I mean,
any professional sport, right? There's so much of that industry, or any industry, whatever industry you work in, you have your own language.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's better as a building block to work college up. For me personally, that's how I would go with it.
I would say pre-NIL, I would agree with you. I think for me, I probably would lean more towards the professional now, just because they're professionals.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, there might be the gills like, I didn't listen to coach, whatever. But by and large, regardless of how much money people are making, they still have to act like professionals. They still have to, they're still professionals, right? Versus
professional.
Okay, so you have a mix of 20 to 30-year-old, right, in your locker room potentially, versus, 18, 19-year-olds, a whole bunch of 18, 19-year-olds who half of them are getting money that they've never imagined before. Right. And you do or say something they don't like and they're out. And which could also cripple your program if you're not able to keep some of the top ones. And that's why I think like Saban got out, and so you see some of these others I'm not dealing with this anymore.
Right.
So for me, I think it would be, you have to earn the respect, but I think in the professional realm, you start off with a certain level of respect, right? Like more so than you would get from necessarily a 18 or 19-year-old who's making potentially the same amount of money or more as you.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, it could work both ways again, right? Depending on your scenario, the school, and the type of talent you recruit, what mindset they come in, what type of parents, what kind of background they have. So there's a lot of like variables and factors, but those are two perspectives of that. Yeah. Okay. Shall I throw one at you then?
Let's do it. Just go back and forth.
All right, cool.
A hot potato.
We're going to volley this. A hot potato.
I like volley. That. Oh, you can play volleyball.
We're going to volley this.
All right.
By the way, volleyball players have gotten insane. I'm sorry. Some of those hops are ridiculous.
We don't need to talk about volleyball players, and we need to try and get in trouble.
Why?
Yeah.
No? Okay. Like off camera?
Yeah.
Conversation? Okay.
I think some of the audience might be able to figure it out.
I'm oblivious to Clearly, I'm oblivious.
Clearly.
So, hypothetical. You are the best player on either of these two teams. Okay? The first team is your favorite team. Your favorite. So let's do football, since you love football, right? Your favorite, like the team you love, which is Atlanta Falcons.
So I'm the best player.
You're the best player on the Falcons.
Okay.
All right. Or you're the best player on the team that you despise, the team you dislike the most, New Orleans Saints, right? Here's the catch. On your favorite team, you acquire a lot of individual accolades, right? You're the man, attention, all that good stuff. Deals, sponsorships, whatever. But your team is always in the worst record every season after season after season. You are the bottom feeding team every season, right? So basically like Megatron, right? Calvin Johnson, right? The Lions. And basically the narrative becomes, like he's great, Howard, can he win? He can't win. Almost like that early Michael Jordan conversation. The other flip side is you're the best player on the team you dislike the most, but you're the best player on that team. And you don't get a lot of individual accolades, but you win chips. You win championships after championships, like multiple. But you you win championships at the expense of your favorite team. That's the team you beat. And I get it. The Falcons and Saints are not going to meet in the Super Bowl, but let's just say for this scenario and this matrix,
NFC Championship game.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right? But at the expense of your team, but you win chips.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm almost insulted.
I know, kind of know
I'm
what the
almost
answer
insulted that you would ask me this question because you know what the answer is.
I know, but
there's
a championships or just your legacy goes as a loser.
My legacy will be I got to play professional football at the highest level for my favorite team.
But that's as a loser, legacy. Though. That's the narrative. That's what the fanfare, the public, the media.
Football's a team game.
Correct. However, you can't.
That's fine.
Win.
I'm not going to be responsible for bringing New Orleans a championship. That's not going to happen.
No way, no how.
If anything, I'm going to work to their detriment. Like, that's not going to happen.
They pay your bills though, man.
Okay,
A
then
team
they can
pays your
trade me.
bills. No, that's not the scenario. You can't trade you there.
I will not be responsible. So there's no way I would choose that option.
So you will never help.
It's fine. I'll be Megatron, but I'll play for my favorite team. I'll change the financial direction of my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say that I had fun playing for my family team. I got to play at the highest level, right? And how many people get to play in the NFL? Forget winning.
Sure.
Forget, like, I was the best player on the team.
Sure, but isn't it about winning?
I got a lot of accolades. It's just I didn't win a Super Bowl.
But accolades are individual. It's a team sport.
I'm good. I'm good racking up the individual awards with my team that I love and being there my whole career. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So it's not about winning. It's not about the chips, the rings, the Hall of Fame.
Of course,
you'll never make the Hall of Fame.
I'm going to try to win every year.
Y'all ain't going to make the Hall of Fame. Right? Or, like you as an athlete are not making.
Ocho Cinco say he not making the Hall of Fame.
That's him,
he's okay with it.
Oh, okay. So that's the route you're going down.
In that scenario, that's the only option I got because
man,
New Orleans is not an option. You should know this.
I know, but I was like, like winning though, championships.
That's great. If it would happen with my team, and if it doesn't, I'm gonna try. So it's not like I'm not gonna go out.
No, of course
it's not. Like I'm starting the season. Like, you know what? I'm ready to lose. Like, no, I'm gonna give it everything I got. If we don't win, we don't win.
But that's the thing here. You don't win, and okay. Well,
that's unfortunate.
Well, you know what? Here's what I'll say. This, my friends, is a true diehard fan. This is what you call a diehard fan.
The answer is never gonna change, man.
This is wow.
It's never gonna change.
Wow. Okay. Well, I kind of knew that was the answer, but I thought maybe there'd be this like wrinkle, like I don't know, man, like winning and Hall of Fame and championship. Like,
nope.
Okay.
Nope. True
diehard, man. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. That's loyalty. That's loyalty. Hey, Falcons, man, y'all need to do something for this man. That's loyalty.
Oh, I got loyalty to that team. Like a ridiculous amount. Like, yeah.
I mean,
some would say an unhealthy amount of loyalty to that team, to all my teams. But that's okay.
You are. Okay.
And I know you don't have any favorite teams.
Yeah, so for me, like,
so the scenario is tough. But I know your answer would be winning no matter what.
Yeah, winning for sure, absolutely.
Yeah,
because it's a team sport. Like it's got to be.
Yeah.
You play to win the game.
Also, I know that you'd be like, look, I don't care. Whatever team is paying my bills, I'm gonna rep that jersey. So
yeah, and then again, like I rep that jersey, and as an employee of that organization, it's my job to help them reach their goal, whatever their goal is. Mm-hmm. And my goal personally is to win.
Yeah.
So like forma, right? I don't care what the squad looks like. Well, we trying to win. Don't matter.
Yeah, but in this case, I do care what the squad looks like because I can't wear the black and gold. Nope.
Nah, not down with the black and gold.
Black and red.
Okay, all right. Might need to get the. I think was it Wiz Khalifa? We got the black and yellow. We have to get the black and red.
With the remix.
Okay.
Okay. So let me fire one back at you. Now we're gonna switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna go a little route. We haven't talked about music yet on the podcast.
Okay.
At all, I don't think.
Rarely.
I think it's really come up too much.
Yeah.
Other than a little bit on our last episode with Damin.
That's right.
Did a little glimpse into
the Eminem.
Right. So I wanted to ask right now in the news. There's a lot to do about Kendrick Lamar and Drake. J. Cole was in there for a minute, but he dipped out early. He was like, I want no parts of this.
Yeah, I heard the apology.
Yeah, he was in there and he got out real quick.
I mean, he did the mature thing.
But the
grown man thing.
But then there's
not that deep.
Kendrick and Drake have continued on. So there's a lot of stuff going on with that.
Yeah.
What is the sports equivalent to the Kendrick and Drake beef? And I believe I know what you're gonna say, because I think I know what you're gonna say, which I agree with, but I'm gonna give an alternative in another sport because I know you're going basketball.
Okay, so the sports equivalent of Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef is, so I have two answers to this.
Okay.
One is just like a moment answer, and one is an overall like answer.
Okay.
That has, I feel like, might be still going.
Okay.
The momentary answer was the Malice in the Palace. That was
okay.
Or I don't know if you remember this one. Some people may be too young to remember this. This is when the New York Knicks had a little kerfuffle, little scuffle with the Miami Heat, and Jeff Van Gundy is holding on for dear life. As a picture of it, it's Googleable. I think he's holding Alonzo Mourning's leg, I believe.
So is that J. Cole?
That could be J. Cole. Guys, stop. I don't know. And that's actually what I felt. That's who I felt I was when you and Thamin had that little moment we spoke about. I was Jeff Van Gundy in that moment. Guys, stop. Please stop, guys. Holding on for dear life, right? Okay. So that's like the momentary answer. But the overarching, I feel like the long answer is, or the more consistent answer with what that beef is going on, is Michael Jordan versus Isaiah Thomas.
I knew it. See, I knew it. I knew it.
The Bad Boys Pistons, the USA Dream Team, and like that thing just, and to date, even in the documentary Last Dance, like that iconic laugh that people use for memes.
It took a toll, and then I feel myself resting him a little bit, and then
right, that was the Gary Payton laugh, I know, but that whole concept of like, but I can't remember what he said in the documentary, but I was eligible, or
I met the criteria.
I met the criteria,
but I didn't get selected.
Right. So like that beef to date has gone on.
Yeah.
Ever since the 1980s.
So I thought you were going to go there. I mean, let's hope that the Kendrick and Drake beef doesn't go on that long.
Right.
But I was thinking of it from the aspect of they both were there coming up not coming up, but like basically prime around the same time. And just one was both were great, but one was just historically better than the other.
And I want to go even deeper.
On statistically.
Correct. But I want to go even deeper than that. Michael played for Chicago. Isaiah's from Chicago.
Yeah.
Right. Michael actually, and Isaiah said this, so I don't know, this is based on what Isaiah has said, that Michael, they were friends. Michael would hang out with their family.
Yes.
He would hang. So they were friends at one point, which
they,
Kendrick and Drake were at some point.
Kendrick was on Drake's album,
right,
Take Care. They've done songs together.
Correct. So they were feature, each other. To this point now, where when Michael started, like, the Bad Boys came in, and that's when the Bad Blood came in between the two, right? Then No Handshake, then the USA Dream Team, and whatever.
Yep. So
I almost feel like this is following that same trajectory. The only thing I will say is that in no means, and I hope this is as far away from this as possible, does not replicate any of that old school beef type, that Pac Biggie, like that kind of nonsense. Please.
No, I don't think we're going to get that in 2024.
Good. I hope we don't. But that was my rationale for.
The only other NBA one I thought you could maybe make a case for is like Draymond versus KD. Yeah. They got a little beef because you got one that's like, again, more accomplished, right? KD would be the equivalent of Drake, more accomplished. But Draymond is accomplished and in his own right is still considered like one of the better players. And like, that's how, so like you could still kind of make a comparison.
However.
And they were friends before.
However.
And then they got into it,
However, there is so from what I hear is that Kendrick came out with just back to back.
He did.
Like uppercuts, not even like jabs.
He did.
And Draymond ain't doing no uppercuts to KD. I'm sorry.
Well,
KD still reigns supreme.
Well, he might not be doing uppercuts. He might be kicking his leg out into certain places. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like it's more of a newer school version, right?
Yeah,
but the one that I picked out actually was, and again, this is a long-standing rivalry, and one that I hope there's ends, in the nearer future. Although it's kind of fun to watch them go back to back jab for jab, and like I said, hopefully it all ends peacefully. And that it ends. It doesn't just go on forever. But it also kind of reminds me from the NFL perspective of the Steelers Ravens.
Okay.
Where you've got one franchise that's, both franchises are established as great franchises,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And Baltimore has won,
Mm-hmm.
but Pittsburgh's won just a little bit more.
Yeah.
And historically, I mean, they've won. They're one of the most iconic. Oh God, I can't believe I'm going to say this because my sister and their love for the Steelers, but they're one of the core iconic NFL franchises.
Oh man, that's going to be clipped and saved. And
I know they're up there in wins. They got a few more wins than Baltimore.
Yeah.
In terms of championships, and Drake is the equivalent, right, to where he's one of the top selling artists of all time. And while Kendrick may not be as mainstream as that to get to that level, right? And he also came out a little after, right? While Drake was already established, they still when they get together, it's jab for jab,
absolutely,
right? Every time, doesn't matter how good or bad the team might be, doesn't matter who's injured. Like those two teams are still going to go at it. So to me, that was the one that popped into my head from an NFL perspective.
Okay, but more teams versus players,
right?
Right. Okay.
Right. I could have went the Atlanta, New Orleans route too, but
that's obvious
minus the championships. So, but we're not going to go there.
Okay. Then it's funny because I'm glad you did the music transition because I want to stick with that.
Okay.
And I just have a question for you.
Okay.
One or the other. Will Damian Lillard win a Grammy before he wins a championship?
I feel like we've had this conversation before.
I feel like we need to rehash it because he's on a new team, new environment, but they significantly did not meet expectations. So
look, I have a lot of respect for Dame Time. He's never going to win a Grammy.
Oh, okay.
Never going to win a Grammy.
Never going to win a Grammy.
He's not mainstream enough to win a Grammy.
Okay.
And the Grammy's almost kind of like a popularity contest anyway.
Yeah.
Like there's some people that have either never won or have not won enough Grammys to whatever. But he's never going to win a Grammy.
Okay.
But, so I'm going to say championship. He has a much better. He's actively trying to get a championship.
Okay.
Year after year versus just doing music as a hobby.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna go the same route. I don't see the Grammy thing happening because that just seems very fad like.
Or even like a Billboard #1 hit.
And even if so, maybe for like a short period, very short period.
And I still don't see
Yeah, and his music, from what I hear, or what I at least. I don't listen to music like that anymore. But it's almost like semi-thoughtful music, which is not really the preferred method
of popular
consumption.
But that's more Kendrick style.
Exactly.
So we're talking about,
which is why he's not as big as
Drake. Yeah. singing the pop rap mixes. Yeah.
Right. Okay. What else you got? Anything else?
So we're gonna stick on the music theme.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you an either or.
Okay.
But you can decide. So before you go, whether it's to play ball, whether it's to coach, you're getting ready for a big game, to play or coach, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like you just want to get yourself kind of amped up. And so on the way, you got the aux cord plugged in. And you're like, I'm gonna play some. I'm gonna play something. Cord. Oh yeah, the aux cord. Yeah, gotta have the aux cord. And you plug it in. Yeah, I'm gonna play something. What is that song or verse? You want to get extra credit, a verse within a song that's going to get you right for that moment. And if you want to give a few, that's two. If you want to give one, that's fine. Whatever you want to do. It's an open-ended question.
That is an open.
How you going to get hyped for that musically?
So it's a good question. So I'm going to semi-color outside the lines here.
No, here we go.
I have two types of music, or a few types of music I listen to. Right, I listen to our cultural music, and then you have your more mainstream Western, hip hop rap type. That's kind of what I used to listen to a lot. So my music choice is going to be dated.
Yeah.
Right.
Mine is as well.
Okay. So, and my guy my favorite rapper at one point was Nas, but it's not that. Somebody else who, when I heard this one verse, it just like.
So wait, Ether ain't gonna do it for you?
Ether, it does.
Okay.
Ether does. But when I think of a verse, like,
okay,
I like music which is very like a lot of like rhyme and flow, soliloquies and analogies. Like I'm more like that. I like deep, and not that Nas can't. He obviously can, but I feel like from a wordplay standpoint, this man was one of the top lyricists. No longer with us. And a lot of great lyricists have come out since him. But for me, he was like the guy who started, or one of the guys who started it. That type of lyricism and that type of wordplay. And this is from the Western side. It's Big Pun. And the song, I believe, is called Twins. Deep Cover, I believe, was the and the actual verse was like, it's with Fat Joe. It was a song. It was when Fat Joe was coming up. Like, he was actually established at that point, and then Big Pun was coming up. And this verse, bro. And I was in New York at like Jersey, New York at the time. And this verse, like Hot 97, that, you know, the bomb, the Funk Master Flex bomb, yeah, like whatever that, bro. And it was like this song and this verse over and over and over, because New York was just,
yeah.
And the verse was, and I'm sure, and hopefully we can play this for the audience. It was dead in the middle of Little Italy, little did we know we riddled a middleman who didn't do diddly, like.
Now listen, that's called mother boy.
And the way he delivered it, like the music was, it was very like hardcore music, doom, 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 right? And it had like a heavy bass to it. And then when he came in with this verse, like this was his like, he just started his verse, and then the music cut, and all you hear is this verse.
Boom.
And then as soon as he finishes, the bass comes in hard. Oh my God, bro. And it was like, hold on, rewind. And then back in the day, we had to rewind, and we like, and next thing in school, like we all have the verse memorized, and we're dropping it. And so that's like the verse that really, like, when I think like hype from Western culture, like Ether, obviously, M's song Renegade, like, but I don't have a specific verse from that. But this one, I specifically remember this verse to this day, right? The man's not with us anymore. So why don't you go ahead, and then I'll drop the other ones then.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's interesting because like if I want to go to hype, I go generally to like darker beats, like, or either darker beats or just like somebody who's just talking mad shit, right? Like,
like Ether,
like, but sometimes in a positive, like, you know,
okay,
like it might be a more up tempo beat because they're talking about like basically like why they're the best or whatever. So I mean, so there's a lot of things between like Jay-Z or DMX. And,
X.
Yeah, like X gonna give it to you. Like, so things that'll hype you up. Yeah. But like when it comes to, for me, and I think we may have touched this on the Talman episode, like the greatest verse ever written is Renegade. You talked about, you brought up Renegade. I mean, you know, that first of all, like the fact that after M sent his two verses back in, Jay had to go rewrite it. And I love Jay. He's one of my tops. But even what he rewrote still doesn't fully touch.
Oh, no.
And like that is crazy to think about. Like, that's just how, like,
yeah.
It should have just the song should have just been his. But like,
and he was featured on that.
And you know, like when it got to the first song, I was like, okay, this is cool. This is nice. Like this is a nice little collab, right? And all of a sudden he comes in on the second verse and he's like, see, I'm a poet to some, a regular modern day Shakespeare. Okay. Jesus Christ, the King, and these Latter-day Saints say, okay, I'm listening. The pain, like everything he said. Everything he said in that verse. Yeah. See, I'm a poet to some, a regular modern day Shakespeare. Jesus Christ, the King, and these Latter-day Saints here to shatter the picture in which that is they paint me as a monger of hate, Satan, and scatterbrain atheist. What?
Yeah,
like
that's,
and then the whole thing, like, while I'm waving a pistol at 60 Christians against me, go to war with, like, oh my God. Like he broke down every different religion, every like politics, everything.
Yeah.
But what he was saying was at the same time was like, maybe it's y'all, right?
Right.
Maybe it's not me.
Right.
Maybe it's just y'all got a problem with me.
Right.
And I don't fucking care.
There you
go. Right. Like, and so like to me, that's just, and the wordplay, the flow, the rhyme schemes, and how everything was chef's kiss, like the best verse ever. But I'll give like a funny alternative, since you brought that one up already, that you probably would never guess in a million years. You probably don't even know who this is.
Okay.
Right? Mims.
Oh, I know who Mims is.
You know who Mims is? This is why I'm hot.
This is why I'm hot. Yeah.
But not the regular.
Okay.
The remix.
Okay.
And so on the remix is like a reggae remix.
Okay.
Which is the whole song is fire. But like towards the end of the song, he's like, he says something about drop top of the coupe, and then he's like, and the doors go up. All I hear is swish. I don't miss when I'm aiming for the shot. And this is why am I like, so like that verse just always got me. And like, I think even how does he start out? It's like, if you take the sun and multiply his heat 10 times over, then what you find is me. And I was like, so sometimes even like an uplift, like like an up tempo beat, that still, or like Jesus Walks is another one. Yeah. Like that one would get me.
I really thought you were gonna say something like Luda get you hyped, because Luda was like Atlanta music. And
so my third, speaking of Atlanta music, is back to more like serious type, because I'm more like want to get in the zone and be serious. It could be a lot of different things from Jeezy.
Jeezy, yeah.
But Soul Survivor, Jeezy and Akon, like, where it's like, look at me, I'm a soul survivor. It's just So like, I mean, that's just a few examples. Like, there's so many in my playlist that and they're all like older school songs. So some of today's music is but what else you got?
So for real quick on the, I guess the Eastern world side of the world music, the other cultural music I listen to is more punk rock music. And so for me, like, and this is it's become mainstream, but before it became mainstream, Jay-Z did a remix on it, right? It's that the Knight Rider remix song. It's called Mundiyan To Bach Ke Rahe, like that. Before like his, I'm sorry, like JJ should have stayed off of that one. But the original, like that gets us hype. That will get us hype. Like you put even to this day, like that song's been out for years, like many years. You put that on in a party,
it's
bro,
go nuts.
we hitting that dance floor. Like it's like that. It's like that. That song is like that. It's a timeless song, timeless beat. Is that one? But more current is this guy who was our version of Nipsey Hussle, called Sidhu Moosewala. Sidhu Moosewala was very young guy, very young man, just like Nipsey, and was also killed similarly, shot down. And there was a lot of like controversy behind, like the politics and gangs and this and that. His music was very also like, you could almost say like mainstream, but with like a gangster appeal type music. So he could have been in that type of life. I don't know the specifics of it, but his music though, bro, was, if you just type in Sidhu Moosewala and type in So Fly, bro, millions and 50 plus 100 million views. Like the song is the beat, the music, the wordplay. And he was one of those, like, he mixed Punjabi language with English words, and like the way he intertwined them and delivered his delivery and like the swag he had on it. There's that song So Fly, and there's a song called Goat. And that Goat song, for me, like if I want to get hype, I listen to Goat by Sidhu. And just the way the beat comes in, like it gets you. As soon as you hear the beat, it's like, oh, let's go. Like, let's go. We're ready to, like, when X beat shows up, like that's how his beat was. And like, I remember like after when he passed away, there was like a whole, like a global outpouring. Like people in China memorized his songs and were playing them on YouTube with them memorizing. Like, I'm like, you're hearing this Chinese guy speak like a whole verse on a Sidhu song. I'm like, what's going on here? That's how much he was loved. Is kind of the point. So yeah, that's for me. So Fly, Goat, and then maybe a couple others, but on that side, I can listen to before getting hyped.
Nah, that's dope. I'm about to go look that up. I might have to listen to that on
we'll play
my
after.
drive home.
I'll play after me. I'll share the links with you.
So you know what my favorite sports related lyric though is? Is actually from Drake. So coming back to one of his earlier albums.
Oh, I think I know too.
You know which one was saying where he says, and I can relate to kids going straight to the league when they recognize that you got what it takes to succeed. Right. And that's around the time that your idols become your rivals. You get, what is it? Make friends with Mike, but get an AI and for your survival.
I mean, like, it's truth. It's truth.
Like it's just so creative how he put that together. Like, because takes that famous moment, right? But like it makes it like a personal, like anybody can relate to, like, oh, this might be my rival, but or might be my idol, but like you gotta
survive, you gotta eat. Now you in the league, right? Who you were a fan of, you had your posters up, but now you got to go against him.
Now I got to go against you. Yeah, like so that's crazy. You gotta eat. And crossing, like it is what it is. That was, like I said, that was A plus.
All right, so I'm gonna do a quick, like a hit type question, like a quick hitters. So one word that comes to mind when you hear these words or phrases or whatever: Anthony Edwards,
Michael Jordan,
Atlanta Hawks,
Trae Young,
Kendrick versus Drake beef,
nostalgic,
Scott Foster, Should we bleep it out? Censor?
I don't know. Indifferent.
Okay. Roger Goodell.
Rich.
New York Knicks.
Ha.
Was that it? That was it. Luka Doncic. Taylor and Kelsey.
Cute.
WWE.
Goat.
Adam Sandler.
Goat.
Okay. The last one. Eminem.
Goat.
Right.
3 straight goats.
There you go. That's all I got.
3 straight goats.
There you go. Okay, cool.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I like that. That was good.
Yeah. No, those one words. That's like a hot seat. I was supposed to start sweating. And,
I kept it somewhat,
Yeah, the Scott Foster was a little, I was like, do I want to go there? Do I not want to go there?
Right.
But,
right.
Yeah, no, actually, fun fact, my sister just showed me yesterday. One of her coworkers is traveling to like Paris or Greece or somewhere and just randomly ran into Adam Sandler.
Oh, nice.
And like, apparently he had like a whole long conversation with them. And like,
I heard he's a really nice guy.
Yeah,
really very approachable.
I'm like, please, like, can I just run into him once in life? He's my all-time favorite comedian.
We may get him.
Adam, if you're listening, somebody connect us to Adam.
Oh,
like literally, Billy Madison is my favorite movie of all time. Like, I want to sit there and pick his brain. I could spend an hour just talking, like 2 hours, probably 3 hours, just talking about how the hell he came up with Billy Madison without even moving on to another fucking movie, because like that is just my favorite. It's my favorite movie of all time.
All time.
Any category.
Wow.
Any genre.
Okay.
Definitely my favorite comedy and definitely my favorite comedian, favorite actor, all of it.
Wow.
Like,
Interesting.
I'm an Adam Sandler guy.
I know. That's why I put him in there.
And that was
but my favorite is Happy Gilmore. I love Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. I mean, I like all the movies.
That was his coming out one, right?
Yeah.
That's the one that kind of put him on the scene.
Waterboy was,
for
me, was amazing because I love football. So it was.
So you like all his movies, like Little Nicky, all that?
Yeah.
Wasn't really?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't like
Longest Yard was good.
Little Nicky as much as I liked.
Sure. Okay, got it.
Those. Longest Yard was great.
Okay.
I mean, even when he started doing some of the crossover
what is basketball
stuff,
movie he did recently?
That was great.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. The one he did with Anthony Edwards was in it.
Yes.
But even when he did some of the crossover stuff, like 50 First Dates and things, like it was funny, but it was also serious. Like he's got the movies with Jennifer Aniston about the heist or whatever, or mystery part, whatever it's called.
So you know what I want to see now? An Adam Sandler Eminem movie.
Man. But I want to see.
Two totally different personalities.
I thought we were going to see Eminem come out at the NFL draft. Like that was. I mean, he came out.
He did.
But I was like, man, I want to see an Eminem performance. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. You got any more?
No. I'm good.
That's the last question.
That was the last question.
All right. Well, let's do a closeout. We're a closeout. That's something close to our heart.
Okay.
So I want you to order this from worst to not so worst.
Oh boy. Here we go.
So you have five categories there, right?
Okay.
We have worn out basketball, worn out shoes, no net, triple rim, randoms.
And we're ranking them from like what?
Worst to not so worst. For you personally.
Okay.
What is the worst?
The worst of the worst would be the worn out shoes.
Okay.
Because like the injury could mess you up for weeks, months.
Okay.
So like that would be the worst. Like everything else is noise, but like worn out shoes is the worst.
Okay. I put you out of commission, basically.
Right.
The risk.
Could. The risk is so much higher. Second, I would probably say the worn out ball.
Okay.
Third, I would probably say the randoms.
Okay.
Then I would say the triple rim. And then what was the last one?
No net.
Yeah, I don't care. It's whatever.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
For me, it's so for me the randoms are on a sliding scale depending on the randoms you meet.
Me too. So I had to.
Right.
That's why I put it kind of in the middle.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
For me, it could be the worst or the least worst, depending on the randoms you come across.
That's why I put it right at 3.
Some randoms have become our friends, and some we don't care to see again.
Right. Thurman was a random.
Correct. Thurman was a random. Matt was a random. So there's that. And then for me, now more solidified picks is the worst is I agree. Worn out shoes.
Yeah.
The risk is not worth it. Too bad, too high. And the next one for me though is no net. The reason being,
you like the sound?
No, I don't even care about that. It's that when you swish it, the ball goes rolling. The net allows the ball to stay and come back, speeding up your game.
Yeah.
Whereas when the ball goes and one, did it go in? Did it go in? Or then it's like, oh, now you have to go chase the ball after every shot if it's a clean shot. So that part. The net also like slows the ball coming down, so there's like less risk of like jamming a finger, whatever the case is, right? That's why I will the next worst. One that is, so what do we have? Worn out ball and triple rim. Worn out ball at number 3 and triple rim the least because I love a triple rim. That just makes your shot so much better. When you get to a single rim, your shot's money. So those are my choices.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
This is an interesting conversation.
Learn
Learn some new stuff about you guys. Learn some new stuff about each other.
And hopefully the audience,
Yeah.
especially after you had that little moment on social media last week.
Oh,
where we gained 10 new subscribers in one afternoon. Thanks to
make some fresh gear, man.
I know. Yeah, we were in the middle of making this new gear, and all of a sudden you decided to pop off social media for some reason. But we appreciate it. So maybe they learned a little bit new, some new things about us too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'd love to hear some of the feedback what they would jump in.
Tell us about your list here.
Yeah.
What some of the questions we asked.
Right.
Well, how do you feel about some of this?
Yeah. So, but appreciate y'all for listening. As a reminder to follow, like, subscribe everywhere, every platform that you can at Think RBA. And we appreciate y'all for tuning in. And until next time, we bid you adieu. Peace.